Welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson, Aurelio Martinez. Okay, we're going to talk about the fight card that everyone was looking forward to. I don't know, Aurelio, do you want to start with the main event or do you want to go with the big undercard event first?
Well, let's go with the undercard because once we get rolling on that main event, boy, there was a lot of good things and a lot of good things to see. You know, people were questioning Triple G and saying this was a big test. So go ahead. Let's start with the undercard.
Okay. Well, there's the we're just going to go to the co-main, which was Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez and Brian Hawaiian Punch Viloria. That fight was for the WBC World Flyweight title. Highly anticipated. Everyone wanted to see, what Gonzalez had to bring to the table. A lot of people have him ranked level as their pound for pound #1 fighter in the world. I don't think he did anything to dispute that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Gonzalez has it all. He has footwork. He has power. He has good hand speed. And when we talk about ring IQ, it looks like he's a complete package.
I like Chocolatito, man. I liked him since the first time I saw him. He like you say, he has an all-around package. He has the savvy in the ring. He knows the ins and outs. He knows what to do. And in this fight, the perfect example is toward the end of the fight, Brian caught him with that vicious body shot, which hurt him. And Chocolatito did not throw a punch for a good 20 seconds or so, but he knew how to survive. He knew he was in trouble. He couldn't breathe. His liver was beat up. But he stood in defensive guard, and he knew he had to weather the storm. And he did. Okay, once he weathered the storm, he came back and vicious. But that you just can't teach a boxer. Mm-hmm. That a boxer has to have that ring generalship and know what to do in cases like that. So,
well, like you said, Brian was down in round 3. And I was one of the people and there were a bunch of us that felt that Brian would be a good test. He wasn't coming there for a payday.
No,
he gave it his all.
No.
And the fight was stopped in the 9th round. But the bottom line is that Gonzalez, like I said, he has it all. Brian Viloria doesn't have anything to be ashamed of. Like you said, he came in and gave it his all. He did not come and lay down. And the same thing can be said, about as we move to the main event where we had Triple G, Gennady Golovkin taking on Lemieux. And Lemieux from Quebec, Canada, and Triple G being from Kazakhstan was. I know we didn't talk about it much last week, but I can't think of the last time we had not only 2 white cats in a pay-per-view main event, but 2 white cats not from the U.S.
Absolutely.
Neither one from the U.S. And what a show! What a show!
You know what? And I'm not going to complain because I'm always pro USA, but I always combine that with the heavyweights and how the U.S. boxers basically stink when it comes to the heavyweight, and we got to change that. But this fight here was all about talent. Mm-hmm. This was all about talent and good boxing in the ring, and that's what it turned out to be. There was a lot of questions out there on the internet, on the forums, on the radios, just everywhere they talk about boxing, where they just wouldn't give Triple G his credit. And then there was the other ones that said it was too much hype because he hasn't fought anybody. But in the same breath, they're always saying, this is the test. This fight is the test. This is the test to see what he's got. Well, obviously, there's nobody in there that can tell you he failed the test. I mean, Triple G is a boxer that's got the full package, okay? And what he showed for those that haven't seen the fight was a different tactic, and he used the jab. He used the jab often, effectively, and the way it should be. I mean, that jab was awesome. I mean, it was just. He was shooting that jab out like nobody's business, and it just laid the platform. It took over the whole fight.
And like you said in the previous fight with Gonzalez, Lemieux landed an excellent body shot to Triple G that hurt him. Mm-hmm. You see he was visibly hurt, but like you said, he shakes it off and he comes back. I think what was it? Lemieux was down in round 3 or 5, something like that. I think it was round 5 where he was down.
Yeah.
But let me give
5 or 6.
Let me give credit because as you know, I was in the other previous episode, I was so hard on Joe Cooper. Let's give some kudos to Steve Willis. Steve Willis, I thought, did an excellent job of stopping the fight when he did. Lemieux, after in the post-fight interview, said that he thought the fight was stopped too soon. I thought it was an excellent stoppage. He'd been the only thing that was left to happen for him to get knocked out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fighters. That's what they're going to say, and that's what they should say.
Okay.
I mean, a real fighter, one that doesn't look for a way out or is not quitting, because obviously the fight could have been let go more, but for what? He couldn't win anymore.
All he could do was get hurt, Lilo.
He was getting.
Yes, he was.
At that point of the fight, he was getting hit at will by Triple G.
Triple G hit him with a left hook that actually had him turned.
Mm-hmm.
He bounced off the ropes. He came over. He saw Willis take a look, and he got right in position. And when Triple G came and hit him with that overhand right and backed up, he stepped in and stopped the fight.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great stoppage myself. Once
Yeah.
again, I'm sure some of you thought that it was stopped too soon. I'm not one to see a guy just get beat down unnecessarily. He'd had enough.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's a true warrior.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to say I had enough. But that's where it's on the job, like you said earlier. It's the job of the referee.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cornerman.
The cornerman
need to know their fighters.
That's right.
Yeah.
To know when our guys had enough.
Yeah.
And kudos, like I said, to Steve Willis. What's left for Triple G?
Well, I'll tell you what, Triple G, it's not what's left for him. It's what's on the horizon.
Okay.
Okay, obviously on the horizon is, okay, people, you want the money. Triple G got paid $2 million.
Right.
Okay. Lemieux got paid 1.5.
Right. Good
okay?
payday for those two.
So very good payday. So now, the only thing that's going to happen with Triple G is that escalates. Now, all we have to do is wait for the pay-per-view numbers to come in. Mm-hmm. And if the pay-per-view numbers even show any sign of success, now you've got someone that people are going to be chasing for the big payday.
Well, don't forget that Madison Square Garden had 20,000 people.
I mean,
he's a fan. He's a fan favorite.
There's no doubt. People, boxing fans recognize good boxing.
That's right.
And talent boxing.
That's
okay.
right.
This isn't one of them fights where he was the promoter's fighter. And he was going to win regardless. Al Heyman, a fighter. He was going to win regardless if he ended up on his feet. He was going to win the fight. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, and boxing fans love that.
Mm-hmm.
They love the action. Lemieux, nothing to be ashamed of. He came in, he gave it all. But when you're a power puncher like Triple G and Lemieux have the thing of power punching, okay, you cannot start moving backwards or moving because you relinquish your stronghold, you relinquish your power. And Triple G's jab kept Lemieux moving.
Well, man,
backwards, sideways, but kept him moving, which allowed Triple G to move forward and engage in his power shots.
Well, you know what? I think you hit the nail right on the head. And I think the sign for me, I look for things because, during the pre-fight build-up for the last week or so between both of them, Lemieux stressed how he wasn't scared of Triple G and he was going to bring it. Mm-hmm. Well, when you watch the first round, that was not true. He was a little bit timid, and it actually looked like he put it on Triple G, bring it. And Triple G brung it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then once again, in the post-fight interview, Lemieux says, "I'd like to, get another shot at it." Well, dude, we talked about it before. There was your chance. Okay, you're the one who said that you were going to bring it. You said you were going to be aggressive and attack. For whatever reason, when that bell rang, I don't know if it was the bright lights or whatever, but you took a step back. Triple G, the attacker he is, jumped right on you and beat you up. And now you have to look at what you're going to do from here. Like I said, he has nothing to be ashamed of, but I think that once he felt the power of Triple G, and I think that's what I said last week, I thought it was going to be, I didn't ever think this fight was about Lemieux, other than when Lemieux felt the power of Triple G. Now, Lemieux, he's a heavy hitter. We all know that.
Yes.
He, if you look at Triple G's over his left eye,
yeah,
that right hand was hitting. I mean, it's one of those, he landed some punches, but his power was not that. And then in the post-fight interview, I hate to say this, but Lemieux said it. He said, a question came from one of the reporters, asked, what was the one thing that was, different about Lemieux than he thought? And he said, I thought he would have more power. See, these kind of things are...
Well, the thing about it is Lemieux is a hard-hitting power guy, okay, without a doubt. But people who need to understand the physics of boxing, okay, and the physics of just when you're moving back, and you're on your toes, you diminish the power. Okay, so if Lemieux would indeed did what he was supposed to do, or what he said he was going to do, and come forward,
yeah,
he would have had more power on his shots. But you also have to worry about getting hit.
Well,
okay?
I think that was
now,
the thing.
you know, before we end this segment, we're going to end it. You know, people ask, what's it going to take to beat Triple G? I mean, what do you do? Well, that's not an easy task. Okay?
Well, it's easy to say, but like you said, they'll have somebody that has that package in it, and the name keeps coming up, Andre Ward.
Well, that's done.
That,
okay, Andre Ward announced he's going up.
Yeah, so he's got to deal with Kovalev.
He's moving up. So so what I'm saying is number one, you have to be able to beat Triple G. You have to be able to back him up, and I don't see any signs of Triple G backing up against anyone, whether he gets hit or not. Triple G is extremely elusive in the pocket. So he's got the subtle movement, the elusiveness, where he stays in the pocket and makes you miss and makes you pay for the missing, okay? He's at his distance at all times, at the end of his punches where the power is, okay? You see, so I don't see anyone being able to back him up, because anyone that can, if someone is successful in making him back up and fight moving back or moving, then they can beat him. But I don't think that's going to happen. The other method, only other method, which is another one that's highly unlikely, is you got to do like a Sugar Ray Leonard did to Roberto Duran. You got to be extremely mobile. Pop, 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 move. Pop, 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 move. Pop, pop, pop.
Try to frustrate him.
But let me tell you, Triple G is probably the best at cutting the ring off. He doesn't follow anyone.
Yeah.
And sooner or later,
he's going to catch
Sooner or later, he's going to catch you. And once you get hit with the power shot, the movement stops.
There you go.
So anyway, guys, this segment's over, but if you guys didn't watch it on pay-per-view, you got to be sure to watch it next week when it's repeated, because they always repeat them the following week. It was just a classic. It was a classic example of good boxing.
Hey, now stay tuned for our next episode where we'll talk a little bit about the amateur scene, and we'll also talk about next week's fight where we have Terrence Crawford in Omaha, Nebraska, defending his WBO World Light Welterweight title against Gary Jean.
Another fighter that's going to be awfully hard to beat.
Exactly. So, in the meantime,
keep them hands up.
Keep them up, baby.